The risk is to go too fast. So it's a bit of an irony to say that, but growth is picking up very rapidly in most parts of Asia. India certainly is a very good example, but not only India, China of course, many other countries in Asia. Even Japan is in a better situation than it were years ago. So the risk is that it may go too fast, and especially in Asia, where obviously growth is not going above potential, which will create tensions. We already see them in the inflation side. Can, in the future, if it goes at the same pace, create tension on the current account. So that's the real problem. But that's the kind of problem people would like to have in other parts of the world. Certainly, you have the question of keeping inflation under control, but inflation is rather high, nevertheless still under control, and I think the stance has been taken by the Reserve Bank of India as the correct one, including an interest rate. The consequence on current account is just normal for a country having such a big expansion. So the problem is more taking this opportunity of high growth to consolidate on the fiscal side. And that, I think, what the government has in mind. The question is to know how effective will be the implementation in the coming years. But it's the right time to have the debt ratio going down and the deficit going down. The great thing with Europe is that it's an attempt of building something which never existed in the past anyway. So of course it's a learning by doing process, and the process is far from being completed. So when it's hit by a crisis like this one, then you see the drawbacks and the point you need to fix. And especially in this situation, 2 points appear the most important one. The first one is a high level of debt, and so the consolidation problem is a much bigger problem in Europe than in the rest of the world. Not only for countries at the edge of the cliff, like Greece was, or today Ireland, maybe some others, but even for core countries, where the level of debt is much higher than it used to be because of the crisis, and they have to build up some medium-term consolidation plan to go back on tracks. I say medium-term because at the same time they have to take care about growth, and so the question is to reassure markets about the commitment to go back on track, but not obviously to implement immediately very tough measures that will kill growth. So it's a difficult trade-off between showing that governments are aware, are taking action to reduce the debt level in the medium term, at the same time not to go too fast, killing the little growth they have. And the second challenge has to do with the European institutions, as those institutions have been built and worked well in quiet times. And when the storm is there, it seems that they're not as effective as they should be. We certainly believe that in many Asian countries the value of the currency is undervalued. And let's be candid, starts with the renminbi in China, and with others wanting to, well, they're not pegged, but they follow the value of the renminbi for very understandable reasons. So what happens in China has consequences on many other countries. So we believe there's here significant, the correct code is substantial undervaluation. But you're absolutely right. The main point for us is not there. It's one point of the story, but the main point is not there. The main point is that, especially in China, the important thing is the shift from totally export-led growth model to a more domestic-led growth model.